Hello everyone and welcome to a new video for the project MYVIPCITY 1.0 for the semester spring of 2017. This video is to show you how to install and maintain MYVIPCITY 1.0. My name is Angel and my teammate is Darshana Sebastian. So let's go ahead and start this demo. So the first software that you need to have installed in your development computer is Visual Studio. For the development of MYVIPCITY 1.0, we used Visual Studio 2015. So the second thing that you need to do is download all the files for the project from the GitHub repository. So once you do that, you can go and open the folder code, and within that folder you will see this file, myvipcity.sln, which stands for solution. So you can double click the solution and Visual Studio will open it for you. So in this case, I already opened the solution. So once you have the solution open, you will see all these projects within the solution. These are all the projects for the solution MYVIPCITY. The main project here, is MYVIPCITY. This one right here, which is an MVC application. If you expand that project, you will see the file webconfig. So let me go ahead and open that file. In this file, there is an important section called connection strings. Here, you will define the connection string that allows the application to connect to a SQL Server database. In this case, for this demo, I'm going to be using my local SQL Server. This is the name of the SQL Server. This is gonna be the name of the database. Actually, let me add two because I already have a database called MYVIPCITY Dev, which is the one that I've been using for the development of the project. So I wanna create a new one for this demo. And I'm gonna be using integrated security. That means that I don't need to enter my username or password. But for example, when I deploy the application to Azure, I need to provide a username and a password, as you can see here. Of course, those are not the real username and password. So now we need to create the database for MYVIPCITY 1.0. For this project, we don't have a SQL script. Instead, what we have, we are using Entity Framework code first, which will generate the database from the domain classes. So the only thing that we need to do is open the Package Manager console right here. Let me just clear it. Make sure that you have selected MYVIPCITY as your default project. And then you need to type update-database. Then you can add the parameter verbose if you want to see the actual SQL Server code that is generated to actually generate the database. So before executing the command, let me just go ahead and show you. This is my local SQL Server, and as you can see under databases, I only have MYVIPCITY Dev, and we will be creating MYVIPCITY Dev 2. So let me just hit enter here. That's it, it completed. So let me go back to the SQL Server. I'm gonna right click databases and click refresh. And as you can see, we have a new database, MYVIPCITY Dev 2. If we expand it, we go to tables, we have all the tables here. We also have some stored procedures. So now in order to run the application, we could just click the play button here, and then the browser will be open and you can start playing with the application. However, when you are developing, it's very annoying to start clicking the run button whenever you make a change. And then if you need to make another change, you need to stop the application, make the change, and run the application again. That is very annoying. That's why we are going to install IIS, which stands for Internet Information Server. Oops, I made a mistake here. IIS stands for Internet Information Services, not server, which is gonna be the server that going to host our application. Of course, I'm gonna install it locally in my development computer, and eventually you can host it in any IIS. For example, I used Azure throughout the semester to host the application. So let me go ahead and show you how to install. If you open the programs and features, you click turn Windows features on or off, you can see that there is an entry here called Internet Information Services. I already have it installed, so you just need to click it and later click OK. Let me show you actually the options that I have selected. You can have all of them, or you can just have some of them. In this case, I just have some of them. So if you click OK, it will be installed. Once you do that, you can just go ahead and open Internet Information Services, which I already have open here. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how to create a new application to host our MYVIPCITY 1.0, which is a website. So the first thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to click the name of the server. This is the IIS server, and I'm going to go ahead and click server certificates. This is because I will be using HTTPS for MYVIPCITY, so I need to create a certificate to be able to use HTTPS. So I'm gonna right click here and say create self-signed certificate. I'm gonna call it MYVIPCITY. Then I'm gonna click application pools, and I'm going to create a new application pool. I'm gonna call it my. Then I can just right click the folder sites and click add website. I'm gonna call it my, and the physical path, for the physical path, you just need to go to the folder where you have the project MYVIPCITY. So in my case, I have it under my name, then source. That's it. Okay. Now there is an important thing here. My IIS is already hosting an application for MYVIPCITY, which is using the port 80, which is the default port for HTTP protocol. So what I'm going to do, since I'm creating a new website, I'm gonna change the port to, let's say, 8040. I'm gonna click OK. Oh, I forgot. I'm gonna select the application pool that I just created. Click OK. So once I do that, I also need to edit the bindings of this application so that it supports HTTPS. So I'm gonna click add here, select HTTPS. Again, the default port for HTTPS is 443, which is being used by the other application that I already have. So I'm gonna just add a 0 here. So the port is gonna be 4430. Then I need to select an SSL certificate, which is gonna be the one that I just created. I'm gonna hit OK, close. That's it. Now, before running the application, there is something else that I need to show you. If we go back to the web config file, there is another section called app settings. And as you can see here, I'm using an external config file called application settings secret. Now this file holds all the secrets for the application. For example, we need to MYVIPCITY allows users to log in using Google or Facebook. So in order to use those Google and Facebook open authentication endpoints, we need to have some application keys provided by both Facebook and Google. So those keys are being stored in this file. So let me show you really quick. These are the values that I have for those keys. So in order for you to get those keys, it's very easy to get. I'm going to show you really quick. For example, for Google, you just need to go to console.developers.google.com, and here you will see all the applications for which Google can give you an application key. So for example, if we go to credentials, you can see that I already have some keys for my MyVIPCITY. For Facebook, you have to go to developers.facebook.com, and the same thing, you need to create a new application. It's very easy, and get an application ID with an application secret. We are also using an application info database to locate the user given its IP address. So in order to use this, the API for IP info database, you need to have an application key. Here you can just create an account and they will give you an application key. You know, it's really easy. Also, you need an application key for SendGrid, which is the email service provider that I'm using for the transactional emails within MyVIPCITY. SendGrid allows you to create a trial account, which allows you to send 40,000 emails per month, which is more than enough for development. Also, you can create your own Azure account, which is free. And once you have an Azure account, they will give you, you can create a SendGrid account through Azure, and it's gonna be free as well. So let's go back to IIS. So now we already have the application set up in IIS. So if we try to run the application, let's just click here and say browse HTTPS. Okay, so this is good. Don't worry about it. This means that our Internet Information Services server is trying to connect to the SQL Server database, but it doesn't have permission to do that. So what we're gonna do is we are going to just copy all this, which is the user that is trying to connect to the SQL Server. And let's just go to SQL Server. Let's collapse all the nodes here and click on security, then logins. And let's just right click here and say new login. Let's just copy and paste that username. Let's select a default database, which is gonna be my MyVIPCITY Dev2. Let's go now to user mappings. Let's click on let's select the role of DB owner for this database. Now we just need to click OK, and let's try again. Just refresh. Okay, so now we officially have the application up and running. So what we need to do now is just basically start adding information into the application, or start making all the changes that we need to that we want to do for the next version. So let's create a new user. I'm gonna click login, and I'm going to create I'm going to log in using one of my email accounts. Remember, this is a brand new database, so that means everything is empty. All the tables are empty. So this is gonna be basically the first user that is going to register. So that's it. Now I would like to have this new user to be an administrator of the website. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the SQL Server, and I'm going to navigate to the database, my MyVIPCITY Dev2, and I'm going to select all the users. I'm going to select the roles. Okay, so the roles are empty. So what we need to do is we need to run the update database one more time. So this is the second time that we run update database. So if we go back and we run this script one more time, now we have two roles within this database, which are admin and promoter. Now I have one user, as you can see here. So what I want to do is I want to make this account an administrator account. So for that, we need to use the table ASP.NET user roles, and I'm going to just right click here and say insert into okay, new query editor, and I'm going to copy the user ID, and then I'm going to copy the role ID. I'm going to execute this query, and now this user is an administrator. So let's go back to the application, and let me just log off really quick. I'm going to log in one more time. Now, as you can see, we have the admin menu, so that means that this user is an administrator. So let's go ahead and create a new business really quick.
And we decide demo restaurant, whatever, just one image here. We have something for the address, I don't know, 123 Southwest 50th Street. I don't know if this is even a valid address, but I'm gonna try. 175. Okay, something like that. So I'm gonna click save. Yes.
So that's it. We have the first restaurant in MYVIPCITY 1.0. So that's it, guys. That's the way you install the application. That's the way you have it ready to start developing. So for example, if you open Visual Studio again, you make some changes. You don't need to click the run button. You just need to compile the application and go back to the browser, click refresh, and that's it. You will see the changes right there. So thank you so much.